I'm Phyllis from the Doll Corner, and welcome back to my channel. And today I want to show you how I make a half square triangle, and it's very easy to do. The only thing you have to do is be a little careful that when you're pressing it that you don't stretch it out of shape. With that said, subscribe, touch the bell to be notified when I put my next video out, and check out my Etsy shop for my doll patterns. I haven't forgotten about my dolls. They're close by. But today we're going to continue with the series on beginners sewing blocks for beginner sewers. So to start with, you want a square block, 2 square blocks. And what I like to do is either fold it in half like this and press it, so I've got a seam, or draw a line from corner to corner. And then I put 2 pieces of fabric together. And with my line, you can probably see my crease mark there. I will sew 1/4 of an inch from this center line out, and 1/4 of an inch from this side. And I don't know whether you can see this or not, but I have it sewn here, and that's a 1/2 an inch distance between the two. And then I cut it in half. Now you can do this with your rotary cutter, but I just have it easier maybe. And then I open this up, and that gives me a half square triangle. I have 2 half square triangles from this. And then I like to square them up. Take these ones. And how I square them up is, where's my little ruler here? My line that goes cornerwise on my angle, I put it right in the center and line it up. If that's right on, and I cut my dog ears off as I do that. And then I go to this angle, and if that's matching right up there, and again, all the way around. Sometimes you get very little, sometimes you get a little more, depending how. So there's my half square triangle. So now with the half square triangle, there's so many ways that blocks you can make. You can put them together like this. I didn't trim this one off, so it won't be even. Or the pinwheel is very popular. Stop and think sometimes which way you're going with the half square triangle, because there's so many different blocks you can make with the half square triangle. It's just amazing. I made a whole quilt as a sampler of all the different, they were all different, the blocks that I put in it. And they were all half square triangles. Now there was a 2 or 3 that I did put just a plain square in it. But see, you can take, do you know what a flying geese? Flying geese is 2 half square, well, one way of making half square flying geese. It's your point going up like this. And let's see, like this. I don't realize these aren't the same size, but you've often, if you've looked at quilts at all, you will see flying geese points in a lot of quilts. And they're just a half square triangle sewn together. Now there's other ways of making flying geese, but it's basically what it is half square triangles. They're just so easy. And then we'll make our and when you go to sew them together, you have to stop and think when you get them, because sometimes you can easily mix this. If you're sewing this side and you should be sewing this side, you've got a whole different block. And I have done that a good many times. But, you know, you can add more. I realize these aren't the same size, but see, you could put your flying geese out this way. No. Excuse me. I'll get it the right way yet. And then if you wanted to just put a plain square in the corner. Let's see, we won't have the right colors here. And then your plain ones in the corner. That's completely different. You can take this and bring them into the center. You can have a lot of fun just playing around to see which way you like it. But the half square triangle is very easy to make as long as you just set your iron on it when you press it, as opposed to pushing it. Because if you push it, you can sometimes, because this is on the bias. And if you pull that, it doesn't take too much to get it out of shape. And one time I was making some half square triangles for a quilt, and I had very little fabric. I was down to my last piece. And I had these 2 or 3 wonky squares that I had made. And I had to rip them out. And I got them real wonky. And I thought, what am I going to do? I had no more material of this particular fabric. And I didn't know what I was going to use. So I took and I washed those. Well, just more or less wet them down and reshaped them. Let them sort of go into their own little shape. And pressed them out as best I could with my hands on a towel and let them dry. And surprisingly enough, they came back to the right shape. So that's one thing that you can do if you goof them up. So I hope you start making a few half square triangles and see if you enjoy making them as much as I do. And be sure and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up if you found any of this information helpful. And check out my Etsy shop for my basic doll pattern. Now, if you would like this pattern book made up like this with the cover and the pages all printed out and everything, just email me and ask me for one, and I'll get a copy out to you. And thanks for watching, and bye now.